Hey, it's Jeff Zito, and thank you for checking out another episode of the Celebrity Jobber Podcast, streaming on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you listen to podcasts. So please subscribe. Would love a 5-star rating, and please leave a review. You can check out past guests and episodes online at celebrityjobber.com. Who were these people before they got famous? How did they get famous? Was there a certain big break involved? And what about their first job before the celebrity? And you know, a lot of these celebrities have other jobs outside of what we know them from, like my guest today. You know her from Playboy and Baywatch. She's also the ex-wife of Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx. And she just launched a new project and is the first celebrity to embrace an AI version of herself. And I got to tell you, I find the whole thing completely interesting. And she's going to tell us everything. From Baywatch, Donna is my guest this week on Celebrity Jobber.
The Celebrity Jobber Podcast with Jeff Zito. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, give a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Check out all our past episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you pod. What if these celebrities weren't famous? What would they have become? What was their first job? We're about to find out.
Hello, Donna. How are you?
Hey, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing so great. And forgive me, I was just, doing a little Googling just before I got on. And I said, I wanted to take a look at some photos of you today. And I was like, oh boy, she hasn't changed a bit. You look fantastic.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the compliment.
You're all of a sudden going, wow, I just got on with a major creep here, but I got to...
No, not at all. Not at all.
Your posters, these posters from, back in the 90s, they were, as famous as that Farrah Fawcett poster, your poster, Pam's poster from back in the 90s. I'm telling you, they were everywhere. Yeah. That had to be a great business move for a lot of you girls.
Maybe. I don't know that I actually saw any money from all those posters, to be honest with you.
Wow. Well,
yeah, I know. And I know they were everywhere.
Well, I want to talk about a new business endeavor of yours in a little bit. But if you don't mind, Donna, taking me back, you're from Alabama, born in Alabama. Did you grow up there or did you grow up somewhere else?
I was born in Alabama in a town called Dothan. And my dad was in the military, so we moved around a little bit when I was younger. And then he retired at Fort Benning, Georgia, and I grew up in Columbus, Georgia, which is right next to Fort Benning, from the age of about 6 all my life. So, but I continued going back to Dothan because I had family there and we would visit all the time and stuff. So I'd say both. I'm from both. I claim both as my home states, Alabama and Georgia.
Well, when you were growing up and having a military father, which had to be tough, having a girl like you and then a military father, I'm sure not a lot of guys came around the house. They were probably afraid to. But tell me what your ambitions were. When you were in high school, did you have dreams of going to Hollywood, making it big? What did you want to do? Actress, singer, model?
I did. I always wanted to be an actor, and I did school plays, and I was sort of an actor in school, and I did all kinds of theater stuff, and then I decided to try my hand at making it in Hollywood. And I figured I'd give myself a year. That's how naive I was. You need longer than a year to make it in Hollywood. But I figured I'd give myself a year to try it. And I made it within the year. I ended up on 2 series at the same time. And I after those, I started doing independent film. And I never looked back, and it's been, I'm really grateful for the kind of career I've been able to have.
And Donna, how did you, I mean, if you're in Alabama, did you just move to Hollywood and say, okay, I'm moving out there, I'm going to fish where there's fish, and I'm going to, just try to be in, in the mix of, where it all happens. Is that what you did? Just move to Hollywood when you graduated?
Well, pretty much. It wasn't right when I graduated, but yeah, I was in my 20s, and I went out to visit a friend who I knew that had moved out west, and while I was shopping in an Albertsons grocery store, I got discovered by a Playboy Playmate talent scout that saw me, and I ended up in the magazine. And Playboy back then had a sort of an in-house entertainment agent, and they were getting me different auditions, and I auditioned for Baywatch and Baywatch Nights, and I got both shows, and then that opened the door wide open to an acting career.
Celebrity Jobber. The Celebrity Jobber podcast with Jeff Zito.
Would you consider shopping in Albertsons that day your big break? Like, getting discovered doesn't usually happen to regular people.
I mean, I guess. I don't know if I would call it a big break, but that's where I was discovered, was in an Albertsons grocery store. But then, after that, you do have to earn.
Sure.
You have to get, it got me in the door into auditions, but once I'm in the audition, I had to perform. And thankfully, I had studied acting. There's not great acting involved in Baywatch, as we all know, and it kind of was hard to get serious work after that. But I did, and I started doing independent film, and I did a bunch of films with an ensemble, the same ensemble cast of Andy McDowell, Colin Feore, Jennifer Tilly, Rupert Graves, people like that, and I really honed my craft. And I don't know that a lot of people even realize that I do serious acting, because they just think of Baywatch.
Right. Well, people get typecast. I'm sure in your business all the time. If they're, even if they weren't in Baywatch, if they were just in a different series altogether, whatever character they're playing, they're like, oh, okay, well, this is what they are. I can imagine that's just the easy way out. But what do you think it was, Donna? When did your life change forever? Was it the very first episode of Baywatch that aired, that, I want to know, like, when all of a sudden it was like, okay, this is a big deal. I'm somebody now.
I guess it hit me after I joined Baywatch. It wasn't so much Baywatch Nights, which is what I started on. That was kind of the Baywatch spinoff show. And that didn't really go anywhere. I think that ended after a couple of seasons, but they rolled my character over onto Baywatch, and that's when things started happening, because that's when people started stopping me in the street and asking me for my autograph, and that's when I started seeing paparazzi camped outside my house taking pictures of me, taking my garbage out. And when that happened, I was like, my gosh, this is not why I wanted to become an actor. I didn't want to become an actor to become famous or a star. I wanted to be an actor because I love acting.
Right.
And the other stuff was not, something that I was wanting, but I soon learned kind of comes with the territory. And now, that's just part of life. That was a long time ago. But when it was new, it was scary, because I wasn't used to that stuff, and I was like a fish out of water.
Yeah, I would imagine when you go from a girl that grew up in Alabama and Columbus, Georgia, all of a sudden to being recognized on the streets of Hollywood and being in this major show, even though Baywatch Nights was a spinoff, it was still kind of a huge thing in the 90s. And boom, you come from, one place to it had to be a little bit of a culture shock for sure. So what?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I would imagine. And it has to be hard for people to deal with, not just you, but anybody put into that situation. You hear about rock stars that get famous and they don't know how to handle it. And I can imagine there is a lot to that, In addition
to all of that stuff, honestly, Jeff, The part that was hardest for me was that before I became, before I was on TV and in movies and stuff, I knew who my friends were, and I knew that they were friends with me because they liked me. But after that, I started seeing that change, and everybody suddenly was wanting to be my friend, and I had to quickly learn what people using me for just to be friends with someone that was famous, how to wrangle that.
Right.
And it kind of quickly makes you feel a little lonely because you don't really know who's your real friend anymore.
Right. Everybody's using you. Yeah.
Right. And not that I'm, someone massive, but it did affect me. It did affect me because it creates a little bit of a lonely feeling.
I'm sure it does.
Which is part of, a little essence of that is what, inspired me to create calldonnad.com.
All right. This is good.
Because there is a lot of loneliness.
Celebrity Jobber. The Celebrity Jobber Podcast with Jeff Zito.
So what I'm excited to talk to you about, first of all, I wanted to get into a few of your other jobs coming up in a bit, but you just brought up Donna AI, which is really interesting to me. It's a new business endeavor that you have, and I'm really excited to hear where this goes. Not only where it is right now, but I want to talk to you in a year from now to see where this goes, because I have a feeling this is just the beginning of a really good idea. So I call Donna AI, which is an AI version of you, and I can have a relationship with this person. Like you'll know,
yes.
You'll remember our conversation, correct?
Yes. It's kind of, okay. So it's, you go to calldonnad.com. And do you remember that movie, Her?
Yes.
Where he falls in love. Yeah. So he falls in love with an AI voice and has a relationship with her. It's kind of like that, Jeff, but it's real. It's actually me. And you can call her and talk to her anytime. And it feels totally natural, like you're really talking to the real me.
And where is this?
My AI version.
Where is this headed for the future? I mean, I don't even know if you're allowed to tell me, because it seems like there's another, like, okay, let's try this Donna AI out first. So guys or fans of yours can call. There's like a daytime version, for fans. There's a nighttime version if you wanted to get a little friskier, or at least ask some more provocative kind of questions, right? So
yes.
Could you tell me where, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know if you're allowed to or not, where's this headed?
Well, I mean, right now this is just launched, and it is groundbreaking because I'm the first celebrity to create an AI companion version of myself that you can call and talk to. But I'm working on other stuff too. Like I'm working on adding a video component so you can have FaceTime calls with my AI.
Yeah. There you go.
That's down the road. That's down the road because right now it's in its infancy, and I don't want a product that doesn't look or feel completely genuinely like me. And right now the video part does look and feel AI, and I don't want that.
Okay.
So the voice, the calldonnad.com, when you go on that website, it opens up this sort of image of it. Your screen looks like a phone screen, and you just press the red button at the bottom that says Call Donna. My image is on there in a red dress. And it takes you to sort of the pay screen, and you can choose between paying by the minute, kind of like the old 1-900 numbers,
right?
Or you can subscribe to weekly packages of minutes, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. And then once you figure out how you want to subscribe like that, you hit call, and my voice comes on, and in a very natural way, she just says, hello, hi, what's your name?
Wow. How long has this taken you to develop, Donna? I mean, this had to take a long time.
It's taken a long time, and it's been hours and hours of recording. And when I say that, I don't mean that I'm recording lines that are then going to be kicked back, pre-recorded lines kicked back. This is me recording just me having conversation like I'm having with you for hours, and then taking that my voice and putting it into the system, and it created my AI version.
Wow.
Of me.
It's crazy. It
talks just like me. It's got my mannerisms, my personality. It responds naturally, and this isn't like a generic voice assistant or a chat bot or chat GPT. It's genuinely, you'll forget you're talking to an AI.
And this is go ahead. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Well, the VIP version is just to show you that it's like thinking on its own. The VIP version, I tested these extensively. And when I tested the VIP version, which is the spicier version, she says, Jeff, the words I've never even said.
Wow.
I mean, she made me blush. Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's like AI is like it takes Donna's brain and you try to replicate Donna's brain and it learns on its own. And I'm really excited to hear more about this because it's the very first of any kind of, celebrities using AI, which everybody knows is the future.
The Celebrity Jobber Podcast with Jeff Zito. Celebrity Jobber.
Donna, it's been great to talk to you, but I just have one more question, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Your very first job. I know you're a good businesswoman from what we're talking about right now to Donna AI to all of these other things you've done. You've owned a limousine company. You've done all these different things. Can you tell me what your very first job was?
Sure. It was working at the concession stand in my local theater selling popcorn.
And how old were you?
I was 16, and I was hired on an hourly student wage, which was, I believe it was $2.85 an hour. And we didn't have cash registers. We had a cash drawer, and we had to memorize all the prices of everything and add everything up in our heads as people were ordering. And that was it. I sold popcorn at the theater.
Wow. And all the way until now, all the jobs that you've held until now, her latest endeavor, calldonnad.com. This is the very first AI any celebrity is using AI. And I am so excited to hear where this goes from here. She says maybe a video component down the line. But I have a feeling that you could be on the cusp of a huge breakthrough in this technology. So I'm excited to talk to you about it and excited for you and what the future holds in this world.
Thank you, Jeff. It's really exciting. It's mind-blowing, and I know that it's groundbreaking. I love that I'm the first celebrity to do this. But I love what the product is. It's like providing companionship to people who need it, and crave that, because that's something I think that we all want and don't necessarily all have.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate it. CallDonnaD.com. Check out the AI experience and relationship you can have with Donna's AI. Thank you again so much.
Thanks, Jeff.
This whole AI thing is incredibly interesting to me, Donna, the first celebrity to use this. It is, kind of groundbreaking, even though we're talking about, like dialing a 900 number back when you were a kid to get, some strange lady to talk to you. And there's so many people out there. AI, it's still so new. People don't know what AI really is. What the hell is AI? I mean, it's a lot of things. It can replicate a certain individual's voice like Donna and think like them and answer questions just like them. It's not like a recording of her voice. The AI kind of learns the inflection that she uses in her voice, the tone of her voice, and then learns all these things about her so it can answer. It's a robot. It's crazy. And that's why I'm so interested to see where this thing goes in the future. And to be honest with you, I'm a little worried about, where it goes. I'm worried about the people that use it The lines are blurred a little bit between the reality and AI, and certain people may not understand they're talking to the AI version of Donna. I'm also a little worried about Donna and potentially, some dangerous situation. I'm not trying to put any of that out there. I'm just saying with AI, there's so many questions because it is so new, and there are just so many things that are unanswered about it. So I'm incredibly interested and, excited on one hand and worried on the other hand. But regardless, Donna grew up in Columbus, Georgia, born in Dothan, Alabama, military dad. It definitely must have been tough for Donna to get dates back in high school. Military father, pretty intimidating, I'd say. But, wanted to be an actress. Like many young girls, moved away from the small town, went to Hollywood, and it doesn't usually happen like this for everybody, but Donna was discovered while shopping in an Albertsons grocery store, and Playboy discovered her. She got the gig there, which went to Baywatch, and that's when her life changed. First job at a movie theater, selling popcorn when she was about 16 years old. And I believe she said she made $2.85 an hour. Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Celebrity Jobber Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. You can check out all of my past guests and episodes online at celebrityjobber.com. You can also follow on Instagram, celebrity_jobber_podcast. Also, youtube.com/the@celebrityjobber. Streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, or wherever you listen to podcasts. So please subscribe. Would love a 5-star rating, and please leave a review. Again, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Celebrity Jobber Podcast. Until next week, I'll see you then. I'm Jeff Zito.